Scorpio.
Hello Scorpio, this is your astrological forecast for May 2016, and what a glorious month with all these planets now in your 7th house, which has to do with love and relationships, how you balance with your partner, not necessarily a significant other, which it definitely can be, but it could also be with who you work with, closely one-on-one, how you relate, how you communicate, how you take things in and listen. It's the shared aspect here of the 7th house this month, which is greatly illuminated. And being a Scorpio, well listen, this month you might get a little sense and feel how it is to be Taurus, because that's what you have on the 7th house cusp. And this is where Venus, the Sun, Mercury, and the new moon is currently transiting. So you will embody that Taurian feeling, which the Tauruses are really good about securing what it is they love, what it is they want. They communicate their needs well. And so that is what you will be doing here this month too. And you might also even see how your partner is tying in with this energy, because even he or she has that energy this month, and it's filtering through this window of your chart. So Venus in Taurus, well, it rules money, it rules love, it rules money. So this is going to be one of the topics that the two of you will be sharing. And let me just address those of you not in a relationship, because I do get those comments, or I get emails and it's like, but I'm not in a relationship, what about me? Well, you're always in a relationship here, the Scorpio, because why? The first and utmost relationship we all have is with ourselves. It's that inner chatter. Are you a good friend to yourself, or do you tend to talk yourself down? That little inner voice that accompanies you is your relationship. This gives all of us here this month a great opportunity to really work on that inner relationship, that inner higher self that we bond with, and of course the external relationship, which would be your partner, right? The Sun is going through this area, Mercury, which rules communication. It will be very Taurian in that sense, where you'll be hearing yourself expressing your needs in a way that you maybe typically don't, but you're okay about vocalizing it at this point. Mercury is retrograde and going back through this whole sign. So from April 28th through that of May 22nd, if you don't have to sign any agreements, try to refrain, only because Mercury can screw things up, as we say. It can delay situations, and it could just come back around and not really go where you need it to go. So if you can wait to afterwards, that is the best, May 22nd. But if you have to, the show must go on, as we say, right? Just be really ultra careful to read the small fine print. So then we have Mars here, and Mars has moved into Sagittarius, and it loves that fire because it is fiery itself. For you, it's in the 2nd house here, Scorpio. So you will come to see how money might take some of your attention this month. Getting all your accounts in a row and your numbers, crunching them, maybe thinking of how you can refinance perhaps something, or also redo, and this is because Mars too is retrograde. And it's going to give you an extended time to really work over your money, your income, your finances, whether to see if you can make more, or at least feeling that you deserve more. So those things will come up, especially because also Saturn is trying to help you find new grounds of security. So having the full moon here this month on the 21st, that's going to illuminate it. So there towards the end of the month, clarity may come into being. And this full moon, Scorpio, is special because it is a so-called blue moon. And the definition of blue moons are whenever we have 2 full moons in one calendar month. It typically comes across every once in a while, and that is what the term every once in a blue moon actually means. So yes, you have all of this area open for you now. I would like to say like on a blank canvas. Mars goes through this area once every 2 years. So right now you're kind of like looking back over things, especially under the retrograde, and making plans, choices, determinations, goals for where you see yourself in the next 2-year cycle and span as far as this goes. So yes, between the 2nd house and the 7th house, that's those 2 areas that are really lighting up for you for the most here in May. So that's you and your partner, your love, your relationship, and also the financial situation. So you could see maybe you and your partner discussing these things, how you can arrange, how you can prepare, how you can actually create some big, beautiful advances perhaps as well. So Jupiter is in your 11th house, which has to do with groups and organizations. Now moving forward, it's been retrograding since end of January here, Scorpio, and so once now on the 9th or the 10th, depending on where you live, it's the 9th for us in the States, it's the 10th for you in Europe, and it's for actually now thinking that some old prospect, maybe an old opportunity, has come back to you between January, February, and now. But as it picks up speed, moves forward, you can start acting upon it. And Jupiter is very joyful, very enthusiastic. You might also come to meet new people when you're out and about, maybe traveling, or maybe they're traveling through where you live. So it will just touch everything, like with a little wand with stardust on it. Because whoever you do meet as new acquaintances, Scorpio, right now, they can come to become very good support for you in the next 12 years of that cycle. If you're traveling here in May, absolutely beautiful for you. You'll have a great time. And this Jupiter does tie in with a couple of the transits we're going to talk about. And so we will go up to the top of the month. On the 1st, we have Sun and Neptune. The Sun in the 7th house, Neptune here in the 5th house for children, for creativity, self-expression, or the business that you own. When they do this dance, you're very open to listen to and visualize also your dreams. Now hang on to that here on the 1st, because why? This whole first week of May is going to be supported by extra planets coming in and buzzing, knocking on the door to the Sun. And that's on the 3rd, the Sun and Jupiter are trine. So Jupiter expands the vision, the dream that you hold on the 1st, and then on the 7th, Pluto is coming in to support both Neptune and Jupiter and giving it some kind of finality and body that you can actually now take on as opening of new beginnings here. The 7th is beautiful, followed by the 9th. The Sun and Neptune doing the dance. Venus is love and romance, those things that you hold close to heart. It's also money, of course. And Neptune is the higher octave of that Venus. So this should be the date night to circle on your calendar. Venus in that 7th house and Neptune in the 5th. You might be out and about celebrating something. For those of you getting married, let me tell you though, the 9th and the 10th both are days to get engaged or married. Because Venus, not only is it holding hands with Neptune, but it's also doing this beautiful ballet with Jupiter. So Jupiter coming in, bestowing all that greatness, all this enthusiasm, and all this abundance your way. So the 10th is definitely also a day to be reckoned with. If you've been looking for a raise, there might be news about it on this day. For those of you starting a new business, well, it's a great time to do so, even though, of course, Mercury is retrograde. But there's many things that you can do to set things up under these dates, even though you don't go out and publicly announce it yet. You can wait to after the retrograde, but it's a great time to get it all together. Then on the 12th and 13th, we have Mercury, which is not just communication, but it's also the messenger of news. This Mercury on the 12th here with Pluto, great news, new beginnings. The 13th, Mercury will be conjuncting Venus. So Venus and Mercury here, news about money, news about anything that is going to touch and tickle your heart pink. Along with on the 13th, also that very same Venus is training on Pluto. So Venus rules money, Pluto rules big money. This is a great money month for you, as you can see. And as far as love goes, Venus here and Pluto there, well, that's love and Pluto passion coming together, the 12th and 13th, fantastic. So, as I do see that you're floating on this cloud 9 up to this point of this month here, Scorpio, on the 22nd, 24th, and 26th, we have a little bit of, I'd like to say hiccups in the matrix, but it is actually just a challenge or two. First, on the 22nd, we got the Sun. That's you. Mars here being opposed to it. So you're still feeling great from everything that has fallen so beautifully into place that you may not feel like you want to run off there and work, but Mars is calling you. So you have to make choices and balance that out. And on the 24th, Venus and Mars are going to be at odds. And so once again, it's all about finding the midpoint. Doesn't have to be either or. Try to find that place in the middle where, okay, go start waking up and doing your chores again, right? And still bring this great feeling that you had from earlier. So I'm not too worried about those 2 dates, but on the 26th, here we have decision time making. This is Jupiter and Saturn. They're the bigger bodies. They carry more weight. Jupiter with wanting to do the right thing. Jupiter wants to expand. Saturn, being the planet with rings, restrict. So we have a push-pull on this date. And if you don't have to make a decision right away, I'd say hang in there a few days, because there's news on the 30th coming from Pluto that might just give you a little bit more of a deeper insight, more clarity, so you will feel more at one. The choices between Saturn and Jupiter is between the 11th and the 2nd house, so that might have something to do with groups or friends or money, since it's a 2nd house. Maybe you're thinking whether you should invest with some people, groups, whatever it is. You'll see what it is in your personal chart. This is your solar chart. But yeah, so to wrap things up, the new moon on the 6th, place your intentions in your area of your relationships, the 7th house, new moon this month, and of course write that abundance check, especially this month, where we have so many great planets working for us, right? And we have Jupiter moving direct on the 9th or the 10th. We have Mercury retrograde until the 22nd of May, and Mars retrograding there back into Scorpio from Sagittarius in your 2nd house, back into your 1st house. So that is the skinny of what we've got going on here in May. Listen to your tarot reading too, just to see what the cards have to say. Since there's so much joyful energy going on, we might get some more information there. So listen, I'll see you next month. Here now, Scorpio. Enjoy it.